As climate change continues to become a threat that increases the insecurity of vulnerable communities around the world, it is critical that religious actors, institutions, and communities, due to their multifaceted perspectives and experiences, partner together to address current and emerging climate emergencies. In this episode of Faith in Action, Preventing Violence at the Nexus of Climate, Peace, and Security, we talked with religious actors from South Africa, Bangladesh, India, and Malawi to hear their stories on how they are addressing climate-related emergencies that aim to prevent the risk of future conflicts.
My name is Marilyn Chittere. I am from Durban, South Africa, and I'm a social and sustainable professional architectural technologist. And my community work is centered around interfaith youth work with Religions for Peace and the African Council of Religious Leaders, and it includes empowering the youth. So in the Hindu faith, there is a scripture called the Bhumi Gita, which teaches us to have reverence and respect towards the earth, but also to understand that we are tenants here and we should know our place to live in harmony with the earth. There's two specific Hindu teachings that I specifically follow that I absolutely love. And it's my main guidance in whatever I do, because I try to bring everything I do back to these two teachings. And the first one is called Vasudeva Kutumbakam. I'm sure it's a very famous teaching. And it's a Sanskrit phrase. And what it really means is that the world is one family. So we come from the Maha Upanishad. And it's a philosophy that emphasizes the interconnectedness of the world with humans, with creation, with nature, with Mother Earth, and also with God, right? And then to see that we have a collective responsibility and towards each other, the earth and its creatures. And it's a guiding principle where it shapes a vision for sustainable living. And then the other last principle that like I love so much, there were two, is Loka Sangraha, which is another Hindu concept, and it emphasizes on selfless action for the benefit of society. So it's considered the social message of the Bhagavad Gita, and your actions should benefit everyone, not just the individual, but it should strive to be of service to others. And so these are the guiding principles and teachings that I use to plant the seeds of peace and love in my work.
Hi, this is Sumaya. Sumaya Binti Selim. I work at International Center for Climate Change and Development. We do focus on climate change and development, and we have like some programmatic division, and I do coordinate the program for the youth and gender, specifically on the programmatic base. But I do also coordinate some of the projects where I do focus on research. That's where I focus on the loss and damage specifically. If I want to come to the aspect of the faith relationship with the tackling climate crisis or any of the development, then as I belong to one of the like mostly populated country and where Muslim are the main religious group in the country, my father was involved in the government work with the Bangladesh government, and he was involved in the family planning department in Bangladesh government. So I have like noticed that they actually involved the religious leader from the Muslim community as well as from the other communities like Hindu and Christian and Buddhist. So in tackling the overpopulation and also to make path to get along to the general people through this religious leader. And it was like in the 90s. So I think that is a very positive note. Why can't we like have them on the ground of tackling climate crisis and the overall like societal crisis?
Hello, I'm Nitish, based in India, and I'm the founder of organization called Youth for Resilience, organization working with young people across the globe addressing environmental and peace building initiatives. I follow the Hindu religion practices, and more than that, like working with this organization which work on interfaith action peace building, I try to learn more about like becoming spiritual, not rather than following the religious rituals. So that's what like very much like understanding the scriptures, Hindu scriptures, what their teachings are, And one of the major teaching which is always in my mind is it's from one of Vedas called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family, and that's what like I still have very much influenced me, even influenced my work, and like thousands of years it's said before that, and now we are talking about like becoming a global citizens and considering not only human but talking about environmental. So that's why like it influenced me a lot to talk about to work, especially thinking not like India, but it's like a globally we are one family and we have to take actions.
My name is Dalitso Moronya. I'm the country director for One World, One Family Foundation. Mainly what we do here in Malawi, we do health, climate change, youth empowerment, as well as peace and the promotion of policies to encourage indigenous people to take part in social development is concerned. I can say that religion and spirituality have always been a part of me since I was a child. Growing up in a Christian family, mom could say, Daddy, so wake up, it's Sunday, you have to go to Sunday school. So up now, I don't have parents. Now my parents went to be with the Lord, both mom and dad. But I can say that, yes, my faith and the spiritual traditions have helped me in understanding of my environmental stewardship. It's always creation from Genesis. So if you read the book of Genesis in the Bible, you will hear that God created something, God did this from the day one. So it's all about creation. And if you look at the teachings, the scriptures, the practices of faith also, it's all about environment.
Most of the conflicts in my communities is around poor service delivery when it comes to no electricity and water, and we have a lot of protests and marches and stuff. It's got to do with like after effect results of the floods and infrastructure being destroyed, even from the tornadoes that like destroyed so many homes that left 2,000 people displaced. And the best way would be to listen, observe, reflect on the situation, and then act in a neutral way with positive intentions to problem solve in a way that benefits the society, to bring the situation towards resolution, transformation, and understanding. So it starts with education, it starts with dialogues, it starts with understanding. And when we understand, then we come to a space where we are in a safe space to talk, but at the same time, we are connecting to our humanity first before religion and anything else. It's our humanity that connects us.
One of the things which I notice, I'm like traveling a lot across India with working with different remote communities. One of the things which I notice is the impact of climate change. And it's very much evident, and every communities, even they don't use the same terms. They don't have like a very they don't know how to define it. But yes, of course, there is sometimes it's sometimes because of our religious belief and sometimes our practices, we don't want to accept like we are like one of the regions this thing's happening. For me, especially working in this peace building and interfaith dialogues, 2-3 things which I'm very conscious about now, especially about like how to deal with this type of issues is it's mainly like a trust building. It takes a time a lot to build a trust with these communities. So you just can't go and like impose your views and talk about like this is me coming from outside teaching you. It can't be that way. So it takes time to build a trust, and you have to listen. I think that's what like one of the like major learning for years now have is like you have to spend time and listen to them, what they have saying, and then try to have a more dialogue with them. Also, it's very important for me is to be like a very cultural sensitive. Like each different communities have a different cultures. You have to respect their religious traditions. You have to respect their their beliefs. But of course, the other side is like because of these traditions and the respects of their beliefs, we can use it to motivate them to involve in this especially in the climate related actions.
Our involvement in this peace climate, it has been our mission to contribute towards the positive change of our communities as local people. We thought it was that it is our responsibility to take part in this work because it's nothing for us without us.
In disaster risk reduction too, in Bangladesh, we have seen the practices of involving this religious leader and the first early warning system when there was around 20 to 25 years ago, if you are trying to request people to evacuate their home on the first warning, they would say that okay, God will save us and we'll just stick with our home and we have so many things in this place. When the government started involving different, we have education system based on the religious place, so mosque based, temple based, like that. So when the government started using the mic system or the sound system for the early warning system with this mosque or temple, then people try to have that warning in more serious note. So that also involves that this simple change, even those religious leaders might not involve the people who are staying in the mosque on that time. They are translating the message for the early warning system from mosque or temple, but that also give people a comfort that okay, they also understand and they also are suggesting us to evacuate, so we need to. So these small things involving them into discussion and into the whole system of tackling climate crisis and disaster risk reduction is always have some positive impacts on general people.
One of the project which we worked with one of the organization, it's for the nature-based solution of flood risk management, and it was for young people for Global South. It was one of the interesting project. We did it at very a global scale, very much to initiative with the youth leadership at the local level and inspire them and support them to take initiative which help them, because see, not only a climate related conflict, but after disasters there are a lot of conflicts happen because of a different regions. So it now it's a very a side of two coins, climate related conflicts and then disasters, and it both affects very much, it intellects a lot. We are so much focused on concrete and technology. We almost forgot we have a ready-made natural low cost very effective tool. And I saw few years ago, even a few of the UN organizations started talking about how nature-based solution can be used for conflict resolutions and conflict preventions.
In 2019, with Religions for Peace International and the Global Interfaith Youth Network, I'd won the Youth Peace Prize, and I was given some funding to do interfaith climate work with youth in South Africa at grassroots levels. In the past years, we've had so many extreme weathers of floods where 400 people died. We had a tornado recently in last year where 2,000 people were displaced because of climate change. So my work has been centered in here, and I use my work as a way on grassroots levels with the community to build youth leadership, but to promote eco-consciousness and climate positivity. We would have interfaith dialogues, educational talks, school programs. And one of the main things that we propagated was the resource guide on climate change for interfaith communities that was released by Religions for Peace. And we promoted that resource guide with educational posters, engaging with a lot of youth and school kids.
Mostly, I believe that religion is all about human beings coming together, forming up ways, criteria, ideas for them to practice spirituality.
I see religious actors as having a major role, a very important role, because they are the heart of the community. You know, they come from a place of faith, a place of heart, a place of compassion and understanding.
They have a very strong power to mobilize people, you know, and that's where it's very important. They can be like initiators of, you know, building awareness and do advocacy with the people.
We know that if we have different audience, we need to change the way of how we are delivering the message. So the more fruitful way we can deliver the message to those religious leaders, that can make like a very good impact on the society for tackling more into the whole climate crisis.
We have all the information, we have all the science available right now about climate crisis. What we need is people's heart and values to align with actions.